Alright, this lesson is going to be going over how to make a car rim like you're seeing here. And what you can do is watch a little bit of video, pause it, do some of it, play it some more until you get something done similar to this. And this is, at least the last several years, an exam question on the Solidworks test. And alright, so let's get started. So I would say you want to do this drawing from the front. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it also is helpful to have center lines, which are essentially temporary lines. And just make sure it's at least 20 inches. And then you could also do another center line that's over this way. And it'll make more sense why we do that in a little bit. Alright, so what you want to do, another thing you want to do, is you want to start with the line tool. And there's lots of ways to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and just draw a profile. Again, yours could be totally different. Zoom in here. So once you get this, you should definitely do some dimensions. And if we were going to do a 16-inch rim or something else that's a standard, then you might want to dimension, basically zoom in here, up here. So you might start with just making sure this dimension is somewhat realistic. And then it's important for you also to know how to do angular dimensions. So I could click twice and so I want you to have dimensions on here for everything. And I have a car rim that is up in the classroom that you can go measure just to kind of figure out what a regular rim, what the dimensions are. So go ahead and put some dimensions on here. And once you have all that, maybe you can just try and take a minute to make sure that they're very visible. And this is looking pretty good. So one thing I see right here, I need to extend this line so it's here. Alright, so what I need to do now is I'm going to go ahead and mirror this to the left side. So if I click Mirror Entities, what do you want to mirror about? I usually click this first. I want to mirror about this center line, which was important. I drew it in earlier. What do you want to mirror? You can drag a window, or you can single click things. It doesn't really matter. Make sure the yellow looks right. So that's how you do that. And then the next step to get the wheel going is to go over to Features, and you're going to do Revolve Boss Base. And this right here is the axis of revolution. What do you want to revolve around? It's definitely going to be this line here, and then this should happen. If you don't see this happen all of a sudden, you might get a little error message asking you a question, And it probably is because you don't have this line down here. So without the line here, SolidWorks can fix it, but you want to have a line here. So I've seen some students forget that. It's not a very big deal. So 360, of course. Okay, so once I got this, I have a profile. Then you can see right now that the right plane is what I will do my next sketch on. You could click right and start sketching, or you could alternatively click on this face and start sketching. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead and start off again with center lines. So I just have some good markers. It's also important, I'll go ahead and just put a dimension on here right away, because, alright, so let's say that you want to have a profile in here. So let's say if I just go ahead and zoom in, let's say I want to have it from here to here, and let's say I want to do right here, here, and then I'll finish it up. Alright. Another thing you might want to do too is consider doing some sketch fillets. So to do that, you just click on a corner there, and you can see it starts to be more rounded the more you click. So you should feel comfortable doing sketch fillets and being able to type in different numbers, and maybe do that a couple different times. Alright, so once you have some kind of profile in here, the next thing that would be a smart decision would be to do a sketch pattern. There's two types. There's linear, and if you click the down arrow key, there's a circular sketch pattern. So I'm going to click that. This is the first thing you want to do is, hey, what's this thing going to rotate around? The center of your wheel. Down here, what do you want to basically sketch? So you want to click these carefully, making sure you get the right lines. So you can see it's coming out pretty good, and then you can have as many as you want, and you definitely want equal spacing for a wheel, I would think. So that's how that works. Once you get that how you want, you can exit that and then head on over to doing an extruded cut, and I'll turn this so I can see what's going on. And if I go to mid-plane, so I have to click these. You don't always have to click these. Alright, and then you can make this number be really big, or you could do through all. Lots of ways to do it, but if you do this here, that worked. So you should pause the video and make sure you can do that. A lot of times rims, they don't have sharp edges because they can cut you. So what engineers do is they would use the fillet command. So for example, I could click this, and I would click the full preview button because you can see what's going on. And then if you make the number too big, it's going to have an error. If I do this, it's going to say sorry. And basically what it's saying in plain English is that the dimension you picked it's not possible to do. So careful what you enter here. So I'll do that. So you can see it's nice and rounded there. And then, for example, even I could do a fillet on this edge right here. This one maybe a little more. And then finally, I could do a little fillet on this edge. This one really tiny, maybe. I don't want anything to be sharp. So on this face, you can do a fillet as well. Maybe on this face. Alright, so it's looking pretty good. And remember too that you can always go back, edit the sketch, and go back here and look at your dimensions and adjust things. So for example, if I was like, oh, I never dimensioned that line there. I wonder what that should be. Oh, that should be 10. So you could do that. Depending on what you enter, you might have an error. You might have to fix up dimensions over here. But just remember, you can always go back and change dimensions, add dimensions, save or cancel your changes. So, alright, so maybe the last thing to kind of give it just a personalized touch would be you could go over on this face, for example, you could sketch some text. And under curves, I'll put in this line, or I can do that line. And I could type in Mr. Barron. And what I recommend is you uncheck this box, click on font. If it's on points, change it to units, and then you can type in the size. So if you want to have like 3/4 of an inch bold, whatever basically you want font-wise, you have control to do that. So here it is. On the wrong side, so I could just a couple things. You can flip it, and you can flip it that way. So play with these 4 buttons until it looks right. Once it does look right, you probably want to go and cut, possibly extrude, but I'll just do cut. And say this is going to be burned in with a laser, or maybe 10/1000th of an inch or something like that. And then it goes in. And see what in. So if you want to have, of course, have it be deeper, you can left click, edit feature, not the sketch, the feature. And you can increase that number to be maybe 50,000ths. So after you get this done, you are going to make a drawing of this with dimensions. You have to do more. You have to dimension this inner part and dimension this part here. So I'm not going to go over all that. Just make sure everything is dimensioned, and you want clean dimensions, not 7 decimal points. Make yourself a nice drawing. There's a YouTube on that, or it's on Blackboard. And then once you're done with that, we're going to 3D print your wheel, kind of miniature size, about a couple inches. Alright, so good luck, make a cool wheel, and that's it. Thanks for watching.